West Virginia has recently changed the laws around concealed carry. The new law is certainly an extension of the Second Amendment rights of citizens of the state to carry weapons. But is it a good idea? Ken?
Well, you know, I've really got mixed feelings on it. You know, West Virginia already had a concealed carry permit available to residents. Now, what this law actually does is it basically is constitutional carry for West Virginia residents. Personally, my only reservation on that is that for someone to carry a weapon, I really think they should have some level of training.
I agree with that. I mean, being retired military, in the military every single year gets trained on rifle and pistol.
Right.
And you've got to pass to carry. And to have people out there, and I'm a conservative Republican, and I believe in the right to bear arms. But if you're going to carry a firearm, you need to be on that firing range, know how to operate that weapon, break it down, clean it, and able to shoot at your target.
Right.
And then put yourself in situations in case you ever had to pull it out and know how to use it.
Well, in West Virginia, there is absolutely no buffer there.
It is no buffer.
Oh, okay, you can walk into Walmart, and if they don't have a sign posted out front that they don't allow weapons in the store, then someone could be packing a Glock in their purse or in their belt underneath their jacket.
Do you think that more businesses are going to post those signs? I would think they would.
I would think so. It's required to, the public to adhere to the signs. If you're carrying in concealed.
My problem is maybe even a little more basic than that. And we talk a lot about the mental health side of gun violence, and I am a big Second Amendment fan. I want our people to have guns, as many as they care to have. The question becomes, if you have that in your side and you get into, we see road rage. We see people doing things with the tools they carry with them that is not very nice. So the question becomes, if you have that gun on your side, how much more tempted are you to use it in situations where it's not really justified to use?
It's almost like drinking alcohol, and once you have 3 or 4 drinks, you're invincible. So now you get this pistol in right beside you when you're driving, and someone cuts in front of you, and now you
just go over and bam, 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 bam.
And, personally, I think that actually kind of goes back to the training, in that, part of the training needs to be education to, whoever wants to conceal carry, that, you pull this out and it's not a case of self-defense, there's going to be some serious consequences.
This is pretty much common sense. Come on, I don't believe
Well,
this
unfortunately, common sense isn't all that common.
Well, if lawmakers should have known better, if you're going to have someone carry a firearm, you got to have training.
Right.
I mean, most of these guys, some of these guys served in the military. They know better.
But I think West Virginia is the 8th state that has adopted.
Yes, Texas being one.
Texas being one, I believe Vermont's another
Yep.
one. And I know Bernie Sanders, he's a big Second Amendment fan too, so just throw that out to
Feel the burn.
Feel the burn.
But, is it awkward? If I live in Maryland, I go down to have dinner in West Virginia.
In Martinsburg.
In Martinsburg or Shepherdstown or wherever, I go down there. Am I going to feel comfortable, or will you feel comfortable sitting in the dining room where you know that anyone around you possibly could be packing?
Hey,
I'm from Maryland. I can't even take
be
my
the
gun
okay
anywhere.
corral.
I'm going to feel a little bit more comfortable, honestly.
Yeah.
Just because, well, hey, if somebody decides to try to rob the place, there's a lot better chance that robbery is not going to go successful.
So following the wild, wild west, when we started becoming a more informed, civilized society, people stopped carrying guns for a reason. I'm assuming those reasons were not laws that were put on the books by the individual states.
Well, we have police officers to keep the peace.
So my question is, why? I just can't imagine why I would need to carry a gun. I'm glad that officers and professionals do. I just can't imagine why I would need to carry a concealed weapon.
Well, and that isn't a matter of need. It's a matter of,
What are you doing?
is it your right?
It is. I get that. I get
So,
that.
It's strength in numbers. So if you have, 10 people in a room, one of them is concealed carrying, those other 9 people in the room
Are
a
benefiting.
little bit better safe, a little more safe.
Maybe.
Okay.
As long as he's a good shot.
Would this have prevented San Bernardino? Someone coming in off the street, armed to the nines, and knowing that there could be half the people or more in that room that are carrying a gun on.
I would believe someone would have stood up and fired back. Yes.
But the question is, would it have changed it, or would it have just changed the length of time? I mean,
It could have shortened and
It could have seriously
less
shortened
loss
it.
of life. Because they had 14,
Yeah.
it could have reduced it down to, say, a few once they got in there and realized what was going on. Because the first reaction when I was in law enforcement in the military was to train yourself, keep calm, but find the perpetrator. The thing is, what you want to do is make sure that you're trained here. Because I'm going to tell you what, yes, so a lost life is going to occur. But the thing of it is, maybe you can prevent more. That's your goal. You're going to be a buffer between you, but between the enemy and the people behind it. You're going to help to stop that guy.
But we're living in a country now that doesn't even allow our military to carry guns on their person
Or on base.
or on base.
Yeah.
So now we're going into West Virginia that's sort of free range. Anyone can carry a gun. There's no criteria of,
Right.
mental
Well-
stability. If they don't have
Yeah.
some
but
kind
how
of
do you
issue.
measure mental stability?
Well-
I mean, that to me is a fallacy as
And,
well.
Yeah, and that can be, a dangerous ground in that, well, who decides who's mentally sane or not? If oh, well, this person doesn't agree with me politically, so I'm just going to say they're not mentally sane.
And last time I checked, Obama had a list.
You know what? Obama is the best gun salesman we have ever had.
Yes.
Because
O'Malley
every
is number
time he
2.
speaks about, no argument there. Every time he speaks about guns, gun sales go up.
Yep. Every time he threatens everybody to take weapons away, and Hillary Clinton's going to be the same way because she is going after the Second Amendment when she gets in office, which I'm hoping behind a jail cell.
But can we agree that there's a huge difference between being allowed to purchase and keep guns in your home versus being allowed to carry them in public? Can we agree that there's a huge difference
Well,
there?
if you're a business owner, Jim, and you like certain times of the year, I carry a lot of cash to get to the bank. And in today's society, there are some wacko jobs out there, And I was told I'll be able to get concealed carry in Maryland.
Right.
So, that gives me a peace of mind because if someone knows I'm carrying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in cash, then you know what? I
But-
want to protect my life
but
because
it's
they're
not-
not going to care about me.
Is not an open carry just as strong of a deterrent because they actually see the weapon on your person?
There's a yes and no because of open carry, everybody sees it, and they might be scared because here in Maryland, not everybody's used to that. But if concealed carry, you keep it concealed.
And even though there are some people that will benefit from that concealed carry person when in a situation, there are also potentially some people that can be harmed that wouldn't have been otherwise.
Right.
Sure.
And that's where training comes
And
in.
I don't know the right answer to
But
this.
criminals also don't obey gun laws anyway. So
We know that.
And that's where training comes in, guys, and we're going to leave it at that. Up next, is it winners and losers time? Stay with us here on The Flip Side.